Sylvester Dixon Baguma is my name. I'm the Executive Director of ASARECA. ASARECA is Association for Strengthening Agricultural Research in East and Central Africa. And we take care of 15 countries. And those 8 countries are here during this workshop on building capacity to respond to new and emerging diseases and pests of banana. What we want to get from the 8 countries is working together, coming up with a framework of how we can work together to tame these diseases, the emerging diseases and pests. We may call everything a pest anyway, because they also call us annoyance. Yeah? So the diseases don't have boundaries. And we as ASARECA, we are spreading across the 15 countries. And we are starting with the East African countries, all right? So I want to make sure that the knowledge, the technologies and innovations that have been identified, that have been generated in addressing the various diseases that we have, that have been mentioned, we can be able to disseminate them, yeah, from one country to another. So they are applied because the problem is common across countries. So we don't want to invent a wheel, no. Where we find that we do not have adequate capacity in a certain country, we pick it from another country. We look for expertise from there to come and do the work. Where some knowledge or technology have been generated in another country, we get it and see how to repackage that and move it forward. For example, simple messages like what we have just finished when you are doing more of these interviews. To manage the banana bacterial wilt, you need to cut the male bud, and when you are pruning, you don't prune the fresh leaves, you just prune the dry leaves. And Professor Arthur Tugume has managed to control that in his 5-acre plantation for many years without seeing any disease, and yet the neighbors around have the disease. Such simple messages, and we package that very well and we're able to disseminate. Most of the diseases go through the planting materials, and clean and healthy planting materials. The planting materials are also like seed. If I have HIV/AIDS, you never know, my seeds could be carrying that virus. And so if I plant it in a lady, you'll get a diseased offspring, yeah, which might not last for long. And therefore, the diseased planting materials are a source of this inoculum, and that's why the disease begins to spread. So as scientists, we want to be developing, one, resistant materials, but also encouraging farmers to use disease-free planting materials, especially from tissue culture, because those are picked from meristems and then multiplied in a tissue culture lab, so that they go out when they are very clean. And that's what we encourage. But sometimes our farmers, they want, I think those are not farmers, they are diggers. But the real farmers will have to go and buy seedling. Even if they are expensive, you know, you're buying something that is good, which is not going to succumb to diseases. And therefore, I would encourage everyone to look for clean planting materials from research institutes, from development partners that are multiplying these planting materials, so that they avoid the problem of 100% loss. After these 5 days here, we have developed a framework of addressing this problem. And that framework may include an element of policy. Yeah, an element of policy. That, I think, should be one of them. So we're going to come up with different aspects of how to address the emerging and new diseases and pests of banana. But how do we address them? The policy could be one of them. Of course, we shall look at improving capacity of the stakeholders, also the scientists themselves. And as ASARECA, it's our responsibility. One, we have also the program on policy management, so where we will have to get all these policies and try to review them and see how they are applicable, but also to develop capacity of the various people. And also another component of ASARECA is sharing or communication and information management, whereby whatever is known, wherever it is, we pick it and make sure that it's known.